Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So just a bit of a quick news update. And according to Windows Central, who have recently posted an interesting article, who say that according to their sources and according to internal Microsoft data, Microsoft now says that there are over 400 million monthly active devices running Windows 11. Now, as many of you will know, Windows 11 rolled out in October of 2021. So we found ourselves 2 years later in October 2023. So in 2 years, it's taken Windows 11 to get to 400 million monthly active devices with Windows 11 running on those devices. And now this is, as many of you may know, a little bit slower and a slower rate than Windows 10, which did kind of reach the same number in just over a year, and eventually 1 billion users by early 2020. And Windows 10 rolled out in 2015, as many of you will know. So by 2020, they had, in 5 years, they had 1 billion users, and in 2 years, Windows 11 has received 400 million active devices and is used on 400 million active devices. So interesting to see the quick comparison between the two OSs. And the reason I think that Windows 10, and I think most of you would agree that Windows 10 was adopted a lot quicker, was Windows 10 was a free upgrade for Windows 7 and 8.1. And it didn't have the so-called strict hardware requirements that were in place for Windows 11, which prevented a lot of users from upgrading to Windows 11, as many of you would know. And if you have been viewing this channel now for a couple of years, you would have known that we have covered those hardware requirements quite intensively on the channel. So some of those hardware requirements, the TPM2, that's that security chip, that was a requirement. Very interesting processor requirements, 64 gigabytes of storage, just to mention a couple of those hardware requirements. And over and above the hardware requirements causing that slow adoption, I also think that the user interface tweaks, like the start menu that took on a whole new shape and form, as an example, also prevented a lot of businesses and users from upgrading to Windows 11 because of the differences when it comes to the user interface and so on. And Windows 11, according to reports, is expected to reach 500 million devices next year in 2024. And then, of course, when we're looking into next year, 2024, we are also talking about a possible Windows 12 rolling out. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Windows 12 will be adopted a lot quicker than Windows 11. And at this stage, and as far as I know, and as I have mentioned on the channel, there's not too much actually different when it comes to hardware requirements for the next major release of Windows, be that a upgrade to Windows 11 or Windows 12. And at this stage, I think the only change in hardware requirements would be the actual amount of memory. Now, as many of you may know, and as mentioned, the minimum requirements for memory for Windows 11 are 4 gigabytes, and for Windows 12, as I've posted previously, that would be 8 gigabytes. And I think that's the only difference in the hardware requirements. So nonetheless, it's going to be very interesting. And just wanted to let you know, and as mentioned, that is a report that was recently posted by Windows Central, where Windows 11 is now in use on over 400 million monthly active devices. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.